To move towards Kiev.
We wanted to leave the territory of Russia. We got in the car and hit the road.
I realized that it would be difficult to cross the border. Saifullo said that there would be guys waiting for us at the border with Ukraine who would help us cross it and get to Kiev.
Saifullo told us to drive towards Ukraine. At the border, we had to make a phone call to get help to cross the border.
This footage is being published for the first time. Suspects in the Crocus City Hall terrorist attack outside Moscow, who had claimed they couldn't communicate without a translator, now seem eager to talk. On camera, a confession, a motive, a plan, as they spill out the details of their failed getaway plan, which was meant to lead them to the Ukrainian capital.
Saifullo told us to drive towards Kiev, and when we get to the border, not far from the border, to abandon the car and call him. He would help us.
Saifullo said, when you get to the border, call me, and I will tell you what to do next.
Investigators are yet to establish who this mysterious Saifullo is, and if he could be the ringleader and the mastermind of the terrorist operation. One thing seems clear, though. Russian authorities have one more string in this case, connecting the attack to Ukraine. A link the US has been trying to dismantle since the very first hours in the aftermath of the attack.
There is no indication at this time that Ukraine or Ukrainians were involved in the shooting. But again, this is just
John Kirby, you're a big liar.
I would disabuse you at this early hour of any connection to Ukraine.
There is no evidence at all that Ukraine was involved in this because Ukraine was not involved in this.
There is no whatsoever any evidence, and in fact, what we know to be the case is that ISIS-K is actually, by all accounts, responsible for what happened.
They're talking about Ukrainian involvement. How much should we believe them?
Well, I think we have very little confidence in anything the Russian government says.
There is absolutely no evidence that the government of Ukraine had anything to do with this attack.
Every word out of her.
Russia's been skeptical of these claims, exploring its own primary version. Adding up to Moscow's suspicion, a surge in terrorist attack warnings all across Russia, which proved to be false but looked like a coordinated scaremongering campaign playing very much in Kiev's favor. Now, terror has been one of Ukraine's tactics of choice, as it's been trying to bring the fight to Russia's home front. Now, this map shows every region where Moscow's security services have been able to thwart attacks by Kiev's pawns. You can see from Kaliningrad to Russia's Far East. The number of uncovered plots seems to be only growing each year. In fact, Ukrainian intelligence increased its terrorist attempts last year almost fivefold compared to 2022, and that's according to official statistics. And there appear to be no stops on this train. This year alone has already seen its fair share of attempts at terrorist attacks, up to arson and sabotage acts. More than 500 people have been detained since 2022 over their ties to Ukraine's intelligence. Among the attacks thwarted by Russia's security services in the past couple of years is a hit on billionaire
Ukraine is a Nazi terrorist state. They can't live on the battlefield, so they commit terrorist acts inside of Russia.
RT's editor-in-chief was
including
also
killing
a
all
target of a
those
Ukrainian murder
children.
plot. Russia's energy sector has been singled out too. Here, a man also recruited by Kiev is sneaking a bomb into a gas hub and is taken into custody moments later. Russian security services have had a crazy busy 2 years, catching people red-handed in their homes, in the street, on the run. Not all agree to be taken in quietly. One of the most brazen plots involved a military-grade US-made nerve agent. Another, a shipment of explosives stashed in church icons. And it's not like all of Kiev's attempts have been futile. War correspondent Vladlen Tatarsky was murdered in a bomb attack, as was Daria Dugina, daughter of a Russian philosopher. Dissident Ukrainian politician Ilya Kiva was gunned down in broad daylight. Assassinations that Ukrainian intelligence pretty much took responsibility for.
Києва – це Kivov was a convicted traitor in absentia, a scoundrel who betrayed Ukraine. If I'm not mistaken, up to 14 years imprisonment. A 9x19 short-barreled weapon went off in the chest area, followed by a controlled shot to the head, and he remained forever near his place of residence in the Moscow suburbs.
All I will comment on is that we've been killing Russians and we will keep killing Russians anywhere on the face of this world until the complete victory of Ukraine.
But the terrorist attack on Crocus City Hall that has seen 145 innocent people killed would be by far Kiev's bloodiest and vilest act, if this version is confirmed, of course, which Russian authorities seem confident will happen.